Welcome to part one of the 4-part blog series that we've produced about getting past compliance and into truly effective software asset management. There are many challenges today in software asset and license management, and they range from choosing the right supporting technologies to building the right team, and down even to the more granular level of things like understanding your true license entitlement. But all of these really can be summarised in that one main obstacle, which is getting past the point of compliance and into the sweet spot of SAM. And by that we mean getting to the point where you can actually save your organisation money and implement those positive and proactive processes to do so. So how do you get past compliance? We've summarised that down into 3 points, and we'll explore each of those through this series. The first point is the challenge of implementation and what goes along with that when you implement a new in-house program. The second one is about the transactional tasks of license management bogging teams down. And then the third one is about the complexity of software licensing. So we'll look at each one in turn, and the first one here is about implementation. The implementation phase of an in-house software asset management program can take months to achieve, and in many cases we've seen it taking years. And it's hard to really understand why that is, especially if you're at the beginning of your SAM program. So to help, we've identified 3 key phases of implementation which we'll now discuss in turn. Those 3 phases are the installation of your supporting technologies, the staff training that goes along with that, and then finally the technology and process rollout to the wider organisation. The installation part of the implementation phase can take a while because many organisations are going to be installing certainly 2 key pieces of technology and possibly 3. The first one is the inventory or discovery tool, the second one is the license management solution, and then the third potential one is the end-to-end lifecycle or app store solution. Installation takes a while because it's down to the configuration of those technologies and how they integrate and work together. And then also teams have more than one responsibility, so they often have to break away from the installation to go and work on other pressing matters and then come back, and that's just a little bit disjointed. The second part of the implementation phase is about staff training, and that really comes into 2 pieces. There's the technology side, and then there's the software licensing side. From a technology point of view, SAM tools have come a long way recently, but they're still complex to use just by the nature of the subject. So you need to identify the right sort of staff with the right skills and background, and then work out where they need to be trained. And you then go and get the training with the software vendor, which in itself can take a while. The other side then is the software licensing side, which again is very complex, and you may choose to go externally for that training or have it in-house. But either way, the training takes time to get scheduled and worked through, not to mention the changes in staff that can occur. The third part of the implementation process is about rolling out the technology. And this really can depend on the size of your organisation. The larger, often the more complex. So it really comes down to having a really solid rollout plan and communication plan, and making sure people understand what they're doing and why they're doing it and what's expected of them. And this often identifies failures in the process and requires reworking. So whether you do it piecemeal or as a big bang approach, this is certainly a phase that needs to be taken very seriously. So the crux of what we're saying here is when you implement an in-house SAM program, it's going to take time, typically at least 6 months, but certainly more in many cases. And all the while this is taking staff away from their daily responsibilities and reducing your ROI because you're not able to get to the value quick enough. And if you're interested in learning a little more about implementing an effective SAM program, we've written an ebook about it, and you can see the link at the end of the video.